Coming up on News Live at 6, we're walking in a winter wonderland. Here's your full forecast ahead.
Plus, the snow didn't stop over 300 people from participating in SU's Veterans Day 5K this morning.
And this week is the launch of the Center for the Creator Economy. More on the innovative program when News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is CitrusTV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Today we honor and reflect on the service and dedication of all U.S. veterans. Welcome into News Live at 6. I'm Isabella Galan.
And I'm Breslin. For over a decade, Syracuse University has honored Veterans Day with its annual fun run and walk. Citrus TV's Skylar Smith was there this morning and has more on its impact on the community.
Bright and early, ROTC cadets, veterans, and community members gathered on the quad to show their support for those who have served.
Let's get this! It is currently 6 a.m. and snowing here in Syracuse, but that's not stopping runners, rain or shine.
It's been an amazing run, still serving our nation, but serving our nation and our student veterans here in higher education.
That's United States veteran Ron Novak, who now serves as the Executive Director for Veteran and Military Affairs at the university. He says that the race builds both community and camaraderie.
One day out of the year, we all come together at 6:30 in the morning to do physical fitness. All of us that have been in the military know that, you know, at 6:30, it's a sacred hour of the day when camps, posts, and stations across the world come together and do physical fitness.
The 5K honors more than 700,000 veterans living in New York State and over 1,000 military-connected students here at the university. Despite the weather conditions, Dwayne Murray says the community showed up and showed out.
People have served in harsher conditions than today. And so, again, an opportunity to be reflective and think about that. Surely we can stand out here for a couple of minutes. We can run for, 20 to 30 minutes or however long it takes, knowing and understanding and thinking about some of the sacrifices that our veterans have made, our service members have made in all types of weather conditions.
As the sun rose, so did the spirits of participants.
1, 2, 3, go forward.
Skylar Smith, Citrus TV News.
Thank you, Skylar. Well, this week marks the launch of the Center for the Creator Economy here at SU. It's the first of its kind program in the United States.
Our Lucy Schaefer is here in studio to tell us more about this new program. Hey, Lucy.
Thanks, guys. This center is a joint project between Newhouse and the Whitman School. The center is focusing on content creation, whether you're into storytelling or behind the scenes of the business. But without the work of one of recent SU graduate, this program would not exist. Thomas O'Brien, the project coordinator, says this center is the future.
Years, I just kind of met some of the higher ups at the university, and they were really curious about what it was that we were working on and how we were utilizing social media to start a business. And over time, the conversations kind of evolved into like, what if, Syracuse tried to step in and teach some of this stuff?
Whether you're interested in podcasting, making small form content to post on social media, or even learn the business sides of influencing, this new center will have it all.
Just being in the room with people that are doing the same thing that you're doing. And that's kind of what we're trying to emphasize with these events. All of them are sort of tailored to bring conversation and bring like genuine new interpersonal connections.
Next semester, the center hopes to have a physical space, which will include podcast recording studios and equipment for students. But it will also be a physical center where creators can meet and expand their knowledge.
And that'll be something that's continuously like changing, and like we're making it an adaptable space. So it's a space that, ideally isn't getting outdated anytime soon, or is able to kind of change and morph with the time.
Madeline Weisholtz, a junior at SU, has reached a following on social media and was given the chance to be a face for the center. She says this center will be a place for potential and growth.
So many students like me are realizing there's so much potential in this center. And having that knowledge from being a part of it has given me a leg up on so many interviews. It's given me knowledge that I can use in all of my internships.
The week, students can attend workshops and guest speaker events. By next year, the center hopes to have classes through the School of Newhouse and Whitman, but is open for any student to be a part of. Reporting for Citrus TV, I'm Lucy Schaefer.
Thanks, Lucy. The city of Syracuse is installing street signs to honor the Syracuse 8. The Syracuse 8 were 9 SU football players who boycotted the 1969 season to promote racial equality and other reform changes to Syracuse athletics. Those signs will be installed on the intersections of Walnut and Waverly Avenue, as well as Walnut Avenue and Water Street. The intersections will be called Syracuse 8 Way. An installation date for the signs has not yet been announced.
The Syracuse Housing Authority says the second phase of the East Adams Neighborhood Transformation Project will be starting this coming Monday. This phase is focusing on cleaning up a site at the corner of Burt and State Streets that the developer says could be contaminated. When it's done, the transformation project will result in 125 new affordable senior housing units. The second phase is expected to go through the winter with vertical construction set for early 2026.
Want to make some extra change? Well, Price Chopper and Market 32 announced that this Sunday will be double exchange day. Any customers who bring in rolled or loose pennies between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. can receive double their value as a gift card for store credit. Participants must bring a minimum of 50 cents and can exchange pennies up to a maximum of $100. The deal will not be available at Tops Friendly Markets, despite the merger between Tops and Price Chopper back in 2021.
Well, Isabella, I have a little bit of a rule of thumb that I want to run by you.
Okay, go for it,
so
go for it.
typically, when we're here in Syracuse, my rule of thumb is that if it snows before my birthday, it's snowing too early. My birthday is tomorrow.
Oh, so just slightly too early.
A little bit too early. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I mean, I put on the little white outfit today. I know you had your little blue tie kind of to get into that winter wonderland spirit. And you know who else is really getting into the winter wonderland spirit? It's our weather anchor, Roman Verna, and he is outside. He must be, Roman, you must be freezing right now. Come on.
Yeah, guys, well, I'm also in that winter wonderland spirit. You might not be able to see it too well, but my red tie actually has some white snowflakes on it. So getting in that festive spirit with you guys, even though I'm out here on the quad. And speaking of out here, it is a chilly one. Earlier today, the temperatures have actually dropped even more. Today around the 30s, 32s, and just snow all day. That lake effect snow coming in from Lake Ontario, coming down here and just dumping all day long. Right now, that snow has stopped for now, and you see about 3 to 4 inches of accumulation on the ground right now. But, you know, I'm trying to think what makes things fun in winter. What are some fun little activities that we can all do? Build a snowman, get in a snowball fight, get some hot cocoa. I can't really do any of those things right now. But what I can do is, of course, make a snow angel. So that's what I'm about to do. Guys, I hope you're enjoying the winter weather while it lasts, and I'll see you back in studio. Guys?
Roman, that looks like a little bit of a hard fall, but the Syracuse Common Council is approving funding for a program aimed at providing an alternative to incarceration for the city's youth. The program is called the Exalt Youth Program, and it's funded by a state grant from the Division of Criminal Justice Services. Exalt looks to support young people within the criminal justice system by connecting them with internships and professional opportunities. Common Councilor Chol Majoke says he's optimistic that, quote, Exalt coming into the city of Syracuse will make a difference in the lives of the citizens of our city, end quote.
Onondaga County SNAP recipients are set to receive their full benefits for the month of November. In a Facebook post, the county announced full benefits are on cards now, or will be by Thursday. According to the county, new SNAP recipients as of November 1st will see a delay in their benefits, but the Office of Temporary and Disability Assistance is working on getting those out. The post also provided information on the Home Energy Assistance Program, or HEAP. If the government reopens this week, HEAP will reopen on November 24th.
Well, as we wait for the government to reopen, flights continue to be canceled. Syracuse Hancock International Airport had 5 departing flights canceled early this morning. Flight disruptions are expected to rise throughout this week at the 40 largest airports in the country, though Syracuse isn't one of them. It's unclear whether an end to the shutdown will make an immediate impact on flight disruptions as we get closer to Thanksgiving.
A 91-year-old Clay widow is facing new pressures by Onondaga County to vacate the house she was promised to live in for the rest of her life. In order to make way for Micron's new chip-making complex, the Onondaga County Industrial Development Agency is taking court action against Azalea King, whose house sits directly in the path of the first phase of Micron's clearing and leveling. This comes after the county served King an order of eviction back in September. Both actions were designed to void an agreement King made with the county 20 years ago that allowed her and her husband Glenn to live out the rest of their lives in the house. King's son Terry says the family will fight the county in court if necessary. A public hearing on the eminent domain proceeding is scheduled for November 20th.
An upstate New York man is in custody after allegedly sending a terroristic threat to a holiday event. Michael Keats is accused of threatening the Granger Homestead and Carriage Museum with violence in an email, ultimately forcing the museum to cancel its Christkindl dinner dance. Police say investigators identified Keats after tracking IP addresses linked to the email from a local library in a nearby hotel. Police also say Keats is wanted by U.S. Marshals in connection with a bank robbery in Buffalo.
Coming up, President Trump spoke at Arlington National Cemetery for Veterans Day. Find out his major announcement when we return.
And Congress is one step closer to ending the government shutdown. The next steps to reopen the government after the break.
An excellent episode of Live from Studio B.
You're watching CitrusTV News Live at 6 with Isabella Galan, Jackson Breslin, and Roman Verna. And now, your campus news leader continues.
But from now on, we're going to be celebrating Victory Day for World War I, for World War II, and frankly, for everything else. Under the Trump administration, we're restoring the pride and the winning spirit of the United States.
That was President Trump calling Veterans Day Victory Day during his Arlington Cemetery speech this afternoon. Vice President J.D. Vance, a former Marine, also encouraged attendees to thank a veteran for their service.
Now, Trump previously floated the idea in a May post on Truth Social. That post suggested designating May 8th as Victory Day for World War II. The visit was Trump's only scheduled event, as he has promised a quick reopening after Senate Democrats agreed to pass a temporary funding bill running through January 30th.
To the latest on the government shutdown, that bill to reopen the government is making its way to the House after the Senate passed it late last night. The 60-40 vote comes 41 days into the shutdown, with 8 Democratic senators voting in favor of the legislation. The House is set to reconvene after being out of session since September.
House Speaker Mike Johnson says the earliest the House will vote is Wednesday afternoon. Republicans hold a slim majority in the House and will likely need almost all Republicans to support the bill for it to be sent to the president's desk. House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries says his party will fight the bill.
Venezuela is launching a massive mobilization of military personnel, weapons, and civilian militia in response to the U.S. buildup of warships in the Caribbean Sea. The Defense Minister Vladimir Lopez says the goal is to optimize command and control communication to ensure the defense of the country.
Now, the U.S. says its military actions have been aimed on combating drug trafficking and the flow of drugs to the states. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has expressed concerns that the U.S. is really trying to force him out of power.
And moving overseas, the United Nations Migration Agency says humanitarian efforts in Sudan could come to a complete halt. The International Organization for Migration, or IOM, said in a statement that aid to Sudan's war-torn North Darfur region are, quote, on the brink of collapse. Without change, more than 11 million refugees are at risk of losing access to aid.
The IOM says more funding is needed and safe delivery of relief supplies must be ensured to avoid what they call an even greater catastrophe from happening. The civil war in Sudan has killed at least 40,000 people and displaced 12 million more since it began in 2023.
And still ahead, I'll have your full 5-day forecast, and I'm finally back nice and warm.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where did cats go on vacation? New York.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to News Live at 6, and welcome back into our studios where I am nice and warm. Looking ahead at the week, not that nice snow that we saw today and not so much festive feelings because a lot of rain, and when it's not raining, there's clouds, and when there's no clouds, it's cold. Yeah, looking at tomorrow, evening showers starting a week ahead, 40 degrees, not horrible. Moving into Thursday, Friday. Thursday going to be a complete washout, and then Friday going to get some scattered showers. So still all that rain before coming back on Saturday to some overcast weather, about 39 degrees, so still pretty chilly. And then Sunday, more scattered showers. But we talk a lot about lake effect snow. It's something I mentioned earlier, and it's something we're going to keep seeing here in Syracuse. So what is lake effect snow? Well, lake effect snow starts with a cold front blowing in from the north, usually around Canada. A lot of cold, dry wind comes in, and then that cold, dry air floats over Lake Ontario before picking up the water that is relatively warm in that lake and getting those clouds super dense and super full of moisture before coming back on land, cooling down, and dumping snow like we saw today. So a lot more of that to see for sure. Guys?
Thanks, Roman. A nationwide outbreak of infant botulism is resulting in a recall of baby food. Organic formula manufacturer By Heart says it's recalling all of its products after some batches were recalled last week. At least 15 babies in 12 states were hospitalized, though no deaths have been reported.
In addition to the recall, the company says it's testing every batch of formula with an independent third-party laboratory. The FDA is investigating 84 cases of botulism. 36 were from By Heart formula. Infant botulism is a serious illness since babies' guts microbiomes are immature.
And with many people struggling due to SNAP benefits being cut, some organizations are trying to do what they can to help out families.
Our Sophia DeStasso tells us how DoorDash is partnering with local food banks here in Syracuse.
DoorDash gets me the food that I want when I need it.
DoorDash has partnered up with food banks to help families who lost their SNAP benefits. Lynn High from the Food Bank of Central New York says DoorDash wants to make a difference.
DoorDash cares about the less fortunate in the communities that their app serves in and is helping people who have been affected by the recent government shutdown.
For DoorDash driver and SU student Adriana Leone, the new partnership means more people in the community can get the food they need, even after the SNAP cuts.
Anybody that has a SNAP or an EBT card can say that and then get their groceries through DoorDash without having to pay any additional DoorDash fees or even a delivery fee.
SU student Mia Garcia says this is a creative way to help families who are struggling.
I think that's really smart of DoorDash to use their platform to get food out to families in need.
Leone adds that this partnership is more than just another delivery. It's a way to help people who really need it.
I think it eliminates the need to have a mode of transportation. So like if a family doesn't have a car or something like that, DoorDash can be how they do it.
Dashers were worried about how this would affect them and the amount of money they make, but DoorDash has been offering them opportunities as well as their clients.
I know that they've also put in some incentives for drivers. There's a lot more peak hours now to make up for the fact that maybe you're not going to get tipped as much for these orders.
Leone says that this program makes her feel proud to be a part of something bigger than just food delivery.
I always love giving back, so the fact that I can give back through my job is something that I really love.
Even in a time of uncertainty, DoorDash and the Food Bank of CNY hope this partnership reminds families they are not alone and that help is just a delivery away. Reporting for Citrus TV News, I'm Sophia DeStasso.
Thank you so much, Sophia. We move to some breaking news out of the Supreme Court. Just minutes ago, the highest court ruled in favor of President Trump to block the fuel payment of SNAP benefits to millions of Americans relying on the program.
Now, this order will halt the full funding from going into effect for at least a few days. The order will go void if the House and President approve the Senate bill to end the government shutdown.
Coming up, Syracuse football has been in a rough patch. 6 straight losses, but Fran Brown, the head coach of the Orange, is not going down without a fight. We'll have that and more when we return.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
We've got a story straight from reality TV. It's time for sports. I'm Hudson Ridley. Over the weekend, Syracuse football suffered another loss. That's now 6 in a row for the Orange. Head coach Fran Brown is not afraid to be vocal during this stretch. Just take a look at his postgame interaction with Miami alum and Hall of Fame wide receiver Michael Irvin.
All due respect, I love how you play. Don't get used to this. I got you, bro. I got you, coach. I appreciate you, coach. I appreciate your intensity, coach. That's good. That's what it takes. Good job.
You heard Michael Irvin give him a compliment there, but Fran Brown was not going to step down. If you recall last year, Syracuse stunned Miami in the Dome to knock the Hurricanes out of college football playoff contention. Since then, resentment has been building with Canes fans. After that interaction with Irvin on Saturday, Brown went at it with some fans.
Tonight! Sorry, you're not getting washed tonight! Yeah!
There seems to be a rivalry brewing between Syracuse and Miami, and that's just 2 matchups in to Brown's time as head coach. That being said, the Orange aren't slated to play the Hurricanes until 2028. By the way, no Syracuse football this week. The Orange are back in 11 days to visit Notre Dame on the road. Only a few hours until Syracuse women's basketball tips off, even a few minutes. The Orange host Canisius for their 3rd game of the season. SU has dominated in its first 2 games, taking down Stony Brook and UAlbany by a combined 44 points, and they've really done that without their leading scorer in Sophie Burrows, who you just saw right there. Only 6 points for her through the first 2 games. Dominique Darius has led the way, averaging 12.5 for the Orange. They're in action tonight against Canisius at 7, and then next week they take on Wagner before finally going on the road to take on some power competition in Utah. And the New York Knicks are back in action. It is an East-West battle tonight as the Knicks go on the road and take on the Memphis Grizzlies. So far this season, rather at home at Madison Square Garden, so far this season, John Morant not back to his usual form after serving a suspension last season and being injured for part of the year. Morant still is not up to 20 points per game. Meanwhile, Jalen Brunson, still one of the leading scorers in the NBA, 27 points per game for him. Tip-off for that is at 7:30.
Oh, Hudson, now that you're at the desk, I got to ask you, with those interactions with fans and with Michael Irvin of all people, is there any disciplinary action coming down the road for Fran Brown?
No, you actually really don't get in trouble for doing that, and that's kind of the beauty of sports, is there isn't much discipline. When it comes to that, it also depends on who instigates it, who initiates it, how long that kind of contact lasts. But for Fran, there should be no hammer coming down. The Orange have already been fined this year for faking injuries, according to the ACC, so Fran Brown probably going to look to avoid another fine.
All right, Hudson, thank you so much. When we return, we'll have one last look at your wake-up weather.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
And welcome back to News Live at 6. A quick look at your wake-up weather now. 40 degrees, a little warmer than you might expect, but that's because sun in the morning before some evening showers turn into a 3-day long stretch of showers. Not exactly what you want to see, but depending on who you are, maybe better than some snow. Not for me, but...
Well, maybe it's a good time to sit in and listen to some music, Roman. And you may or may not have heard of the new song called Walk My Walk. That song is by artist Breaking Rust, and it climbed to the top of Billboard's country digital song sales chart. But there is a twist. What makes it so shocking is that this artist is completely AI.
That's right, Jackson. Breaking Rust has over 2 million monthly listeners on Spotify and over 30,000 followers on Instagram. This marks the first time an AI-generated song has reached the top of the charts. Guys, this is crazy. Like, we're reaching the top of the charts, but you're not even a real person. It's an AI artist. I think we've been seeing a lot of this with the actress Tilly Norwood, and I think it's just, we're starting to see it more and more now. It's kind of crazy.
It is crazy because we were listening to a little bit of the song earlier, and we're checking Breaking Rust's Instagram, and people were commenting, oh my God, you might not be real, but you're still my favorite artist. And That's just insane to me. I'm sorry, but
yeah, I mean,
that's
people
crazy.
always talk about like parasocial relationships.
Right.
That's not even a parasocial relationship. You're not loving anything. This
That's
is a robot.
another level. I would figure too that country music fans would be the ones to draw the line of I'm not listening to AI. I guess they are.
No.
They've got
I
no
guess
qualms.
so.
Well, that's Citrus TV News Live at 6 for this Tuesday.
Now, don't forget you can follow us on X and Instagram at CitrusTV News. Now, for the entire Citrus TV News team, I'm Jackson Breslin.
And I'm Isabella Galan. Have a great night, Syracuse.